This is the story of America's superhighway pioneer, the Pennsylvania Turnpike, a great link between the East and the West. This also is the story of people. Hundreds created it, thousands operate it, millions use it. Perhaps you are one of the people who will ride it today. Spanning the breadth of Pennsylvania and cutting through some of the state's most glorious and picturesque countryside, the Turnpike has long served the needs of people. It has a human side, and it is like a city in itself. To the east is New Jersey, New York, and the New England states. To reach this avenue, one must cross the prize-winning Delaware River Bridge, which connects with the New Jersey Turnpike. To the west is the Ohio Turnpike and hundreds of additional turnpike miles in Indiana, Illinois, Kansas, and other western states. The Pennsylvania Turnpike is 470 miles. It is a classic of engineering design. Although the pioneer in its field, it still is one of the safest four-lane highways in America. It carries more than 100,000 vehicles a day. But we're getting ahead of this story. In October 1940, when the initial 160 miles between Carlisle and Irwin was opened, the Pioneer Highway opened its gate, and the Pioneer radio station was there to tell America of this great engineering achievement. The Turnpike became a reality when a progressive group of men interested in bridging the gap between the East and the West put their dreams and ideas to work. It was in the late 1930s, during the Depression years. Memories of a defunct railroad project came into focus. Representatives of the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association and state assemblymen looked for a way to eliminate the long and arduous climbs up western Pennsylvania mountains. Financiers Andrew Carnegie and Cornelius Vanderbilt had planned to tunnel the mountains. High costs forced abandonment of the project in 1885. And more than 50 years later, the Pennsylvania Turnpike was born on the same line of the South Penn Railroad. Then 1937. Legislation was introduced and enacted by the Pennsylvania General Assembly. A commission was created to construct and maintain 160 miles of four-lane highway to be financed by the sale of bonds rather than by taxes, and to operate with tolls rather than tax appropriations. And more than 20 years later, this great turnpike system has become the grandfather of the gigantic road-building program now underway in America. At the same time, turnpikes are being built in other countries. The Japanese, the Canadians, the Italians, and the Mexicans have all followed the turnpike construction ideas of Pennsylvania. Engineers from these countries and from many others visit the Pennsylvania operation to benefit from this pioneer thinking. The construction principle is the same. Traffic will be divided by wider grass medial strips. There are more frequent interchanges, and like the turnpike, such roads will bypass cities. Pennsylvanians are proud that their state holds the distinction of breathing initial life into modern highway construction. The Turnpike is a part of the American free enterprise system. It is paid for only by those who use it. Since its beginning in 1940, more than $30 million in gasoline taxes from purchases made on the Turnpike have been paid by users. None of this money can be used for Turnpike operations. Instead, it goes to build tax-supported highways in Pennsylvania and in other states. Into northeastern Pennsylvania, through the towering Blue Mountain near Lehighton, and on to the Poconos, one of America's famous vacation lands. The northern connection bypasses the cities of Quakertown, Allentown, and Wilkes-Barre, and it ends above Scranton, where it connects with a four-lane highway leading to the gateway to New York State and Canada. Every 25 miles, there is a modern service area where food and fuel are available. The Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission has its quarters near Harrisburg. The building is just off the Turnpike. Although the Commission is a separate entity of state government, the law directs the governor to appoint 4 members to to administer the affairs of the $40 million a year business. Commissioners meet in formal sessions every other week. All major and costly decisions are made and plans approved at these meetings. The commission is responsible to its bondholders through the financial trustee and the consulting engineer, both of whom must first approve all major turnpike projects. The commission operates similarly to the board of directors of any successful business. There are 38 interchanges on the turnpike where traffic enters and leaves. Courteous officer collectors at these stations assist motorists. Routine inspections of cars for bad tires and lights are carried out by the officers. Turnpike driving requires good equipment and good drivers. From modern and well-equipped stations located in 25-mile intervals, maintenance crews begin the long day of keeping the turnpike up to date and safe for traffic. The best available heavy-duty equipment is assigned to each building with trained personnel in the pike's never-ending battle to serve the public. Each building is equipped for any emergency and with the personnel who are capable of handling it. Safety traffic line striping is a very important aid to the motorist. Turnpike crews each year paint the equivalent of a 1,800-mile round trip between Harrisburg and St. Louis, Missouri. Edge lines were pioneered on the turnpike. Routine maintenance not only includes the roadway itself, but the areas off the turnpike. Grass must be trimmed and kept neat. The guard fences erected for your safety must be painted. Workmen have a constant battle of removing and replacing sections of concrete that deteriorate because of weather and heavy pounding. Administration in the field offices is also a tremendous task. Supplies must be ordered, the inventories checked, equipment scheduled for repairs, and hundreds of other daily assignments made. A planned day also is important. Work must be scheduled. The latest available equipment is used for turnpike operations. It costs about $10,000 annually to maintain 1 mile of highway. Markers along the right-of-way of the turnpike show the correct mileage for easy identification. Police patrols use the milepost to report locations of motorists in need of aid. Within each mile, there are additional markers with reflective delineator heads that assist motorists at night in picking out the safety lines along the road. While all this work is done on the turnpike, the public must be informed. Brightly painted signs as well as safety flagmen appear before each work zone. Flagmen wear reflective vests and carry flags to slow traffic. And when men are working on the highway, speeds are always reduced to 35 miles an hour. For the convenience and safety of turnpike travelers, a well-equipped ambulance is located within every 25-mile section at every maintenance station. Nearly 200 officers and men of the state police are assigned to patrol the road. Each is a specialist capable of meeting the tremendous and demanding daily challenge of a city's moving population. State police have the most modern enforcement tools and equipment. More than 500,000 miles are driven by turnpike troopers each month. This around-the-clock effort costs the Turnpike Commission more than $2 million annually for the services of this elite corps of men. All police barracks and mobile units are tied together by a two-way radio network that enables police to perform many missions of mercy in addition to the daily routine of an officer. Lives of many have been saved by cool and quick-thinking troopers. Other lives have been saved because police speeded rare blood, vaccines, and serum to patients in need of emergency treatment. The turnpike is a natural avenue for priority shipments. Instructions on the delivery of a baby also have been given to an officer who faced such an emergency. The trooper meets a different challenge whenever he gets behind the wheel of his patrol car. Many new methods of law enforcement have been pioneered on the Turnpike. Through the cooperation of the Pennsylvania National Guard, police officers fly missions with veteran pilots. Speeders can be detected from the helicopter and apprehended through the use of the radio, which is in contact with ground patrols. In addition, traffic can be controlled, especially in the tunnel areas. This major enforcement tool has been since adopted in many other states and on many other turnpikes. During the year, as many as 60,000 motorists will have mechanical difficulty with their cars. About 25% of the trouble will be for bad tires. Another 1,000 persons monthly will run out of gasoline. The white flag is the distress signal on the turnpike. It will be spotted by turnpike patrols who will offer assistance and then contact the service unit assigned to the area. The AAA and Keystone Motor Clubs approve contracts for these mechanical services that are given around the clock. There are 17 road service units on the Turnpike. All mechanical charges are supervised closely by Turnpike officials and the motor clubs. Automobiles, like drivers, need rest. Constant high-speed travel takes its toll. During hot summer months, the problem is even greater. There are 26 service areas on the Turnpike. Each is equipped to take care of the motorist and his car. From these sites, some of Pennsylvania's most majestic countryside can be observed. Nearly all of the stations have sizable dining rooms in addition to counter facilities and gift shops. The Howard Johnson Company provides all food services, and 3 of the nation's major oil companies, Atlantic, Gulf, and Esso Humboldt, service the cars. During the year, nearly every person driving the pike will visit one of these stations. About 10 million meals will be served. More than 40 million gallons of gasoline will be pumped. Thousands of buses will make service stops for their passengers, and areas will be the meeting places for hundreds. Like the Turnpike, the service stations, to keep up with the times, have grown in size. All of the original plazas have been rebuilt and modernized. A completely new structure has been erected near Pittsburgh. The out-of-state motorist and the Pennsylvanian looking for places to visit can stop at the first service area entering Pennsylvania from New Jersey or Ohio. The State Commerce Department, cooperating with the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission, offers the latest tourist information during the vacation period. As many as 40,000 persons in one year will stop to pick up tourist literature and plan Pennsylvania vacations. In addition to the service plazas, about 100 picnic tables are dotted across the state to enable motorists and their families to take that all-important break away from driving. Each table is situated in an area with safety in mind, and, in most occasions, tables are shaded by broad trees. The Turnpike maintains the picnic site and patrols these areas frequently. When you're looking for beauty, Pennsylvania has the answer. The Turnpike along its entire route cuts through breathtaking areas and is surrounded by countryside sights that make a painter marvel. This truly is one of America's most beautiful vacation lands. The Turnpike is probably one of the safest highways in America. Through aggressive education and engineering and maintenance, the accident rate has been reduced considerably despite the tremendous annual increase in traffic. Medial guardrail has been erected on the Turnpike to divide opposing traffic movement. The steel rail is designed to prevent the crossover accident. It has. The barriers will line the entire 470 miles of Turnpike. But the steel rails are not the complete answer to highway safety. Motorists, must use better judgment and caution. Turnpikes and superhighways require different and varied driving skills. The best driver in the family should be behind the wheel for high-speed driving. Frequent rests also are important. Don't get the false impression that turnpikes are easy to drive. Any high-speed road will necessitate numerous decisions, and the decision can only be made once, and it had better be right. In short, our highways today are a lot different from driving to and from the supermarket or the office. The speed is greater, and roads are safe only when driven properly. Adequate and large enough signs play an important role in making the public aware of where they are and where they are going. The concise legend is important. Too much wording cannot be read at turnpike speeds. Prior to each interchange, there are 3 large exit signs. Each interchange also is numbered. A 3rd lane joins the travel lanes at interchange areas. This makes it safer and easier for motorists to leave the main section of the pike. For the safety of motorists, each of the pike's 8 tunnels has signs for several miles to acquaint drivers of the approaching tunnel. For many, driving through a tunnel is an entirely new experience. Approaching the tunnel, traffic is funneled into a single lane. Each tunnel has 1 lane traffic in either direction. Signs warn motorists to reduce speed and not to pass beyond specified safe areas. Lights should be used when entering tunnels. Use low-beam running lights and not parking lights. Your lights will pick up the traffic lines. Keep at least 4 cars' distance from the vehicle ahead of you when traveling through the tunnels. For your safety, each tunnel is equipped with a modern, specially designed and constructed crash truck. This piece of equipment doubles as a fire truck and wrecking unit and carries modern safety appliances. Gigantic high-speed fans blow mountain air into the tubes to eliminate carbon monoxide. The fans have 3 speeds and are regulated by special gas detection equipment closely supervised at the tunnel's control center. 3 men are assigned around the clock to each tunnel. The control room operator reads the detection equipment and boosts the speed of fans when heavy traffic concentrates in the tunnel. Each tunnel is washed weekly, traffic lines are painted every 10 days, and mercury vapor bulbs in the ceiling light the way. Emergency power is supplied by standby generators. All turnpike personnel are trained in first aid procedures. Each must meet high safety standards. There is a safety specialist assigned to each 100 miles. In addition to conducting industrial safety programs, he works closely with state police. All turnpike ambulances are manned by personnel who have had first aid training. Safety men patrol in white station wagons, equipped with oversized speedometers to make turnpike drivers more conscious of speeds. These speed minders are accurate. Maintenance units and state police cars carry the most modern and long-lasting special firefighting gear. Last year, more than $2 million in equipment and cargoes were saved by alert turnpike crews and patrols. Police carry special mouth-to-mouth breathing units and have saved the lives of many heart attack victims. The pulse of turnpike services is directed by the $3 million radio network based near Harrisburg. It connects all moving equipment, buildings, interchanges, and state police units. There are more than 480 mobile radios covering the turnpike's 470 miles. It has been said by many that the turnpike becomes just another highway when without its radio system. More than 1 million calls are made annually from the communication center. Each message is recorded on magnetic tape for easy reference. Police and insurance companies have many uses for this detailed information. Accident data can be checked. The communication center is the turnpike's listening post. A police corporal is in charge of traffic control. During a snowstorm, the radio system becomes an even more vital link. Equipment operators can be assigned to troubled areas without returning to base for instructions. All snow removal units are radio equipped. But before the first flakes of snow fall on the turnpike, a command post is established in Harrisburg. A private weather forecasting service alerts operating experts of anticipated conditions. Men are then directed into action. Teletypes, direct line, microwave, and telephones are all put into use. They play an important role in the Pike's overall snow battling program, which is second to none. Messages stretch from one end of the state to the other, warning of the storm. Notations are made in plotting its severity. Conditions are watched closely. Pike conditions change rapidly throughout the day. Road conditions are posted at the 38 interchanges and at all service plazas. During a storm, motorists flock to service areas for warmth and comfort. Dauntless crews battle the elements with many years of know-how and backed by the best possible equipment money can buy. But like everything that is worn heavily, repairs must be made. Plow blades can scrape adequately for only 50 miles. Trucks return to the shed for new blades. Equipment has to be washed down and readied for the next pass. Minor repairs and adjustments are necessary. Chemicals have to be reloaded on trucks. Snowplows are forced to battle the elements under heavy traffic conditions. Cargoes for market can't be delayed. The Turnpike's outstanding snow removal program costs about $2 million yearly, but the road is always open. The Turnpike never sleeps. Around-the-clock traffic moves through Turnpike City, which is always wide awake. The traffic comes from across America, from the east and the west, from the north and the south. More than 2.5 billion cars, trucks, and buses have used the Pike since it opened its gates in 1940. More than half the Turnpike's 30 million vehicles each year come from outside of Pennsylvania. Half of the operating costs of more than $12.5 million are paid by residents who live outside of the state. And the Turnpike isn't costing the governments of Pennsylvania or the United States 1 cent. This great highway system is still America's best buy in transportation. The day of the 5 cents telephone call is over, but the Turnpike toll of less than 1 cent per mile, charged on opening day in 1940, remained unchanged today. It's history that once sleepy towns of Bedford and Somerset in central Pennsylvania have awakened by the Turnpike, its importance to the transportation industry and its great volume of traffic. Industrial development of Pennsylvania has been stimulated by just the presence of the Turnpike. Businessmen, when locating plants, first take a look at the state's highway system and its transportation facilities. Philadelphia and southeastern Pennsylvania, Scranton and the gateway to New York State, Wilkes-Barre on the anthracite coal-producing areas, Harrisburg in central Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh and the Ohio Valley. All these cities and these areas have benefited. This industrial development is the story across America where new highways are being constructed. America's first turnpike has brought our nation closer together. It has shortened travel between east and west by eliminating hazardous driving up and over winding mountains of Pennsylvania. It has made it possible to make a round trip from Harrisburg to Pittsburgh in but 1 day. This dream that came true highway across Pennsylvania bridges 8 of the state's major rivers with some of the engineering profession's most outstanding and majestic designs. Many of these bridges are award winners in national engineering competitions. And after more than 2 decades of operation, and as we progress through the jet age, it is history that the Pennsylvania Turnpike has given America its start in superhighway development. But to give Pennsylvania a high-speed turnpike system was not an easy job. It took the efforts of thousands who exhibited grit and determination to make a dream live. Today it requires the hard work of more than 1,500 dedicated men and women working for you and for your safety. Safety is of paramount importance. Many safety firsts have been recorded on the pike. Shoulders and berms have been surface treated. Spot inspections of vehicles are made at interchanges. Interstate Commerce Commission inspectors check trucks at service areas. Cooperative programs have been developed with the Pennsylvania Medical Society, the State Motor Federation, Vision Conservation Institute, the Pennsylvania Truck Association, and many other groups. All are part of the Turnpike's big safety picture. This has been the story of the nation's first superhighway, which drew upon the energies of thousands from across our great land. Some of these people lost their lives in its construction to give America a brand new mode in transportation. Men with an idea put it to work. They uncovered an abandoned railroad line and stretched concrete over it. They drove tunnels through the high Allegheny Mountains of western Pennsylvania to make the Turnpike attractive to speed-conscious America. During the war years, it was said that the Turnpike shortened the war because it was able to speed needed supplies into battle. And from the beginning of a modest 160 miles, this fabulous Turnpike system has grown to more than 3 times its size and now totals 470 miles. It connects the states of Ohio and New Jersey, the cities of Philadelphia, Harrisburg and Pittsburgh, Allentown, Wilkes-Barre and Scranton, and it makes a direct connection with modern interstate highways leading to other states and Canada. These new highways will save motorists many long and hard driving hours, as the Turnpike has demonstrated for more than 2 decades. The Pennsylvania Turnpike has been a reality now for nearly 1/4 of a century. Although it shows age with some lines and scars from heavy use, it is kept up to date and modern and serves the public well. The sun sets on this great engineering marvel of American history, the Pennsylvania Turnpike.